Hi, this is Tami Masamula and welcome to IN4RIDE. Today we are talking about the new Isuzu D-MAX X-Rider. What is it all about? Well, let's hop in and find out. One of the most interesting bits about the D-MAX, especially the X-Rider I suppose, is that the lifestyle double cab bakkie market has just exploded, over the past few years. In fact, some of the brands are selling more double cabs than they are selling single cabs, which obviously is the workhorse. I mean, you'd expect that they would sell more workhorses than leisure cabs, which is the double cab. But they don't, because of the popularity of the bakkie market in South Africa. In fact, I think we are one of the top bakkie markets in the world globally, after markets like the USA. Of course, they don't call them bakkies there, they call them trucks. Thailand is certainly a bakkie market. They have bakkies just like ours, including the Isuzu D-MAX, which incidentally, some of which are built in Thailand. This one in particular is built right here in Mzansi, out in the Eastern Cape, of course. And it's a vehicle that, well, look, the original intention of the D-MAX, when it was called the KD, way back when, now I'm revealing my age, was as a workhorse. So it's a vehicle that was built, designed, and basically manufactured to be a workhorse. It's supposed to work. It's supposed to, go on a farm, pick up cement, carry grass, water, buckets, that sort of thing. But over the years, we have now come to a point where the D-MAX is no longer just a workhorse. It now has a dual personality. And this new model certainly delivers on a number of different ways. So for instance, it does have a loading bay at the back, as a bakkie should. Very deep, quite long as well. So there's things that you can carry there, the normal stuff, your fridges, your furniture, sofas, wardrobe, if you're that way inclined, and other goods that you can carry. But also, you can work with it. So you can carry cement, you can carry stones, water buckets, steel rods, whatever it is that you do. You're a mechanic, you're a builder, you're a farmer. The vehicle can take all the stuff because it is almost a tonner. And so it's built for that sort of thing. But on a weekend, because of the economy as well as affordability issues in the country, we no longer have the luxury of, I'm going to buy 2-3 vehicles at a time. One for the weekend, one for the weekday, one for working, one for that. No, we no longer have that kind of luxury. Now, you have one car, one vehicle that you try and basically do everything with. And the D-MAX X-Rider is probably one of the most versatile vehicles that you'll ever buy. So on the weekend, you get in, put your family in. It is a 5-seater. Obviously, not a lot of space at the back, but you can sit 5 people. In fact, you can sit 5 adults in the vehicle. And so you can put your people in there, tow your boat, or take your bags, go off on a nice excursion to the dam, to the beach, wherever you want to go, to the veld, and have an awesome time. And you don't look like, this person has been working this vehicle the whole week. No, because it actually looks really good. It's got this kit, which is obviously the X-Rider kit that we've described previously. And you go in, you park it next to the other leisure bakkies that are popular in the market, I won't mention their names. And it looks good next to them because it has all this extra stuff. But that doesn't mean that it has lost its utility value, its strength, its versatility. It hasn't. So, how does it actually drive? You know, does it feel like a car? Does it feel like an SUV? I suppose it has a mix of bakkie, SUV type of feel. The suspension system feels, let's say, sedated. It doesn't feel too rigid. It doesn't feel too harsh. You don't feel like, oh my goodness, I'm driving in this really hard bakkie. It feels almost like an SUV. You feel like comfortable, you know, the springs are a bit softer, but it also feels like it does have a bit of a stiffness, which you need for, you know, the off-road, as well as, you know, some of the freeway driving. The tires that we have that are fitted in this particular model are grabbers, so they're off-road tires, which are not necessarily the most comfortable, but they do feel like they're okay. They can handle any type of surface. They can drive on a smooth surface, they can drive on the off-road surface, and they're very safe. So these are the tires that I think are probably perfect for this type of vehicle, because you don't want to be changing tires all the time as you drive. Okay, now I need to go here and change tires. No, it's just one set of tires and they can go anyway. You don't need to be changing all the time. What's also very important, I suppose, these days is the interior, where obviously the occupants will spend all of their time. The driving seats is adjustable, up, down, back, forward, slide. You can adjust it to whatever comfort level that you want. It's not electric on this particular model, so you can have the seating position that you want. The steering wheel is adjustable, up, down, back, forth, and you can create the perfect seating position for yourself. Look at this leather steering wheel. Very nice and comfortable. Red stitching, X-Rider, red stitching. Looks very stylish, looks dap. And you've got obviously your Isuzu badging at the center. And you've got the multi-controls on the steering wheel. So you can control your radio volume, your music volume. You can control the telephone as it rings on the Bluetooth. You can also control things like your speed levels on one of the buttons. So it is a fully functional multi-function steering wheel. And then the information screen that's right in front of the driver's eyes shows you basically all the information that you need. Your speed, which is the most important. It shows you how far you've traveled. It shows you how much fuel per 100 kilometers you're averaging, for instance. And also these days, it also shows you the amount of range that you have left on the tank. What does that mean? It basically means how far can you travel on the fuel that you currently have in the vehicle right now. And obviously that's very useful. So let's say you're traveling from Joburg to Durban, which is about a 600 kilometer drive. You can gauge to say, hey, I've got a full tank and it's giving me so many kilometers. This is how much I have to travel. Will I get to my destination? Which is very, very useful. In fact, this car has a range that we have tested, real life range, of around 650 to even 750 kilometers, depending on your style of driving, where you're driving, how you drive, etc. But you can almost get 800 kilometers out of this car, which I think is stupendous. It's actually very, very impressive, especially for a bakkie. And then you've got obviously your adjustable mirrors, and the touch inside, the touch points that you see on this vehicle This bit is the harsh part. This is where you see the longevity, the build quality of this car. But then you see the piano black, you see the red detailing on the door panels, and you see the electrically adjustable mirror adjusters here. You've got the outside mirror adjuster here as well. And it's just a nice and pleasant place to be in. What's also very nice is the infotainment system, which works via touchscreen, and it's right there at the center console. Very intuitive, very easy to use, and it gives you all sorts of information. Like right now, it's giving me a compass. So it's showing me which direction I'm headed to. Very useful, obviously, if you're driving off-road all the time, or sometimes just to see where you're going, north, west, south. But then it gives you all the other information. Your radio, your favorite radio stations, which you can preset. It also shows you, it can also display your map if you've connected to your cell phone, your mobile phone, and all sorts of other information as well that you need right there on the touch screen. Very easy to access, but you also have buttons. So, if you're old school and you like the touch and feel of buttons, instead of just everything is just screens, you have buttons as well. And then you have the air conditioning system below that. Very easy to operate, on, off, hot, cold, and where you want the air to actually blow. Lots of storage facilities inside the D-MAX X-Rider. You have storage facility right on top of the dashboard, actually, which you just open via a button. Very cool. And then you've got the center console, which has storage facilities on the center console. You've got 2 cup holders in the middle here, but you also have cup holders right by the door, by the ventilation. Those are actually very useful as far as I'm concerned, because when you put your drink there and you change the temperature on the air conditioning, then it keeps that drink in whatever condition that you want. So for instance, if it's hot and you put your cool drink on this cup holder here, and you put your aircon on and it's on cold, it keeps your drink nice and cool, so it doesn't warm up, which is very nice. And then you have another closing storage facility right behind here on the elbow. You also have this knob right here by my knee, which then adjusts for the all-wheel drive or the 4x4 system as it is. So you can put it on 2H, which is too high, which means the vehicle is pulling on the rear wheels. So it's only using 2 wheels, which is now for normal driving. Saves you fuel, drive normal, no issues. If you want to go off-road, or you want to go into gravel, for instance, or nothing really hectic, then you put it on 4H. It actually changes on the fly. So it changes as the vehicle moves. You don't have to stop the vehicle like you used to in the past. And you can adjust and put it on 4H, and it changes and it pulls now on all 4 wheels. You also have 4L, which is for the real crawling, serious off-road bits. That's when you need more torque than speed. And it also pulls on all 4 wheels. So this is actually an off-road vehicle, and we'll test it a little bit and see how it actually does on the 4 wheels. As far as the seats are concerned, full leather. Because this is the X-Rider, you see the nice red stitching on the seats, and you see the X embossed on the headrests, which gives it a very stylish look. It stands out obviously from the rest of the D-MAX range, and just those little touches that make it a little more nice, and the seats are comfortable to drive with. I mean, I could sit here for a few hours at a time with no issues.